Hello guys, it's your girl Brianna Queen. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I focus on easy beauty, simple DIY, as well as decor. So in today's video, I am sharing with you guys my garden, yes, your girl gardens, my garden refresh. If you're interested in my little mini garden that I have, it's like a little mini raised bed. You know what, let me just stop talking, let me just share it with you, okay? Let's go. So this is the current state of my garden. I know it's embarrassing. I have definitely let my garden go. I'm surprised I still have plants that have survived, but this is the before of my garden. There's weeds everywhere, there's sticks, there's branches. It just needs to be revived. So first things first, before you do anything with your garden, you have to actually clean up. So I'm cleaning up all of the dead branches, all of the dead leaves. I am making sure that when I start this garden over, I have a nice clean canvas and I don't have a lot of dead debris everywhere. Now I'm doing what I hate to do the most. Like, this is my absolute most hated thing, and that is pulling up weeds, but it's so necessary because when you are planting a garden, weeds will steal the nutrients from the other plants. So I'm just pulling up all the weeds, and I'm ensuring I'm pulling up the weeds by the root. You want to make sure you pull them up by the root. If you just pull them, they're just going to grow back. So making sure you pull up the weeds by root, and it's tedious, but y'all, it's so necessary. Now I'm going in and I am pruning this. Once upon a time it was a flower, then it turned into a bush, so now I am just pruning it. So what pruning means is I am basically shaping the bush, and however you shape this bush, it's how it's going to grow. As you guys see, it's kind of like taking over. So I'm just literally going in and I'm shaping this. And I must tell you, like, whenever I prune or whenever I use my clippers, I legit feel like Edward Scissorhands.
It's out of here, it's history. I'll be darned.
Now I'm going in and I am breaking up the soil, as well as, you know, it's gonna make it easy for me to get some of these leaves all over. So just let you guys know, I am not like an expert gardener. I don't have a degree in gardening. I am just a girl who has been gardening for the past 3 years and has been able to successfully grow vegetables. One of the first steps to starting a garden is you want to think about what vegetables you want to actually grow. And then if you already have vegetables, you want to rotate your crops, which means that if you plant tomatoes in one spot, you do not want to constantly plant tomatoes in that same spot over and over and over again. That can deplete the soil, as well as if you have any kind of bugs or anything like that. If you constantly plant the same plant in that same exact spot, it can end up hindering the plant growth. So I'm taking these onions and I'm going to actually move them over to the other green onions, as I will be planting some bell peppers and some tomatoes over. And because this is a raised bed, I do have to add soil every season, or I want to say every year, whenever I am growing new plants. So I'm going to take this raised bed soil from Miracle-Gro, and I usually use the soil from my nursery, but unfortunately they were closed with the quarantine, so I had to get the Miracle-Gro, which it's okay, it's decent. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to just distribute this all over. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Brianna, you're not going to plant your garden via seed.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Some plants really do thrive if you plant the seed in a tiny pot and then you keep that inside for about 4 to 6 weeks until that seed has grown into a little baby starter plant, and then you would transport it. I ain't got time for that. So by growing a starter, somebody else has already done that work for me. If you are a beginner and you just really want to have a garden, girl or boy, start with a starter. You can do seeds. Seeds are cheaper, but just know that it can come with a learning curve, and there are some things that you do have to remember when you're trying to grow via seed. And when growing a garden, make sure you know which plants are going to do the best in your location. Because I live in Florida, it gets really, really hot in the summertime, which means I have to plant things that love the heat. So for example, bell peppers, zucchini, those things of that nature, they really love heat, so I know that they will thrive in my garden. However, let's say you live somewhere where it's colder, then bell peppers may not be the best plant for you to plant, in the fall, because they really like heat, they don't like frost. So really think about what zone you live in, what season it is, and then if that plant can thrive in that condition. And then something else I highly recommend is researching what plants go better with other plants. They're called companion plants. So for example, growing tomatoes and onions right next to each other, they're going to help each plant thrive because they really work well with each other. The scent from the onions are extremely strong, so they're going to deter pests from the tomato plant. Once I have all of my plants inside of the ground, I'm going to go in with some plant food. The same way you cannot live just off of water, your plants cannot live just off of water. So make sure you are giving your garden plant food. Make sure you're giving your plants plant food that has nutrients in it that's really going to help your garden grow quickly and really going to help it thrive. So now I'm going to do a little bit of container gardening, and I'm going to be growing some cucumbers. So you may be asking, Brianna, why are you not going to plant the cucumber seeds with the regular garden? Well, let me tell you. So a few years ago, I grew cucumbers and they took over the garden, like completely took it over. So now when I do plant cucumbers, I do plant them in their own pot so that they do not take over the garden, and then they don't take over other plants and cause other plants to die or not get their nutrients. So when you're planting via pot, go ahead and take some soil. You want to make sure you have some really good high quality soil. And I'm going ahead and applying a little mini ladder because I want my cucumbers to grow vertically. So with that, having this right here, the cucumbers will actually grow around this rail, and it will make harvesting the cucumbers a lot easier. So now I'm going to go ahead and plant the seeds into the soil. When it comes to planting seeds in pots, the bigger the seed, the further down you want to plant it. You definitely want to read the back of your seed packs, as it will tell you the best seasons to grow, as well as how far down you want to plant the seed into the soil. If it's planted too far down, the seed will not be able to come up. And if it's planted too far up, when the seed actually does come up, it's going to be so lopsided and it's not going to have sturdy roots. And I'm telling you guys this from personal experience.
Pepper has lots of flower seeds. George only has one flower seed.
Oh.
So this is what my garden looks like right now. As you guys can see, I got flowers. You see those pink and red flowers? Growing flowers inside of your vegetable garden is really going to help, because obviously to get vegetables, you need bees to pollinate. And what attracts bees? Flowers. You can self-pollinate yourself, but it's a lot of work. It's so much easier to plant flowers that bees love and will pollinate, because they'll also pollinate your vegetable plants, which will give you nice juicy veggies. So definitely think about growing some bee-loving flowers within your vegetable gardens. And then something else I have that truly helps my garden flourish is I have a homemade bee water fountain. And I talk more about this on BriannaQueen.com, as well as the benefits of having it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this garden video. If you did, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and comment down below for any questions, comments as well. I'll talk to you guys in my very next video. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and you know what? Stay safe. I love you guys. Bye.